So
oh, it's saying that it's recording.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah,
started.
it's just so I can put it afterward. I can cut it, but I can, put it on Instagram or whatever after. But it's just setting up for YouTube Live. It should be live in like 2 seconds.
Do you have the link, Aurelia?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Okay, now it's live. Okay, we're good.
Oui.
Okay, so we'll just post the link so that everyone has it.
Okay, so also we asked like people to ask questions for you. So we wrote them all down so we can ask you their questions.
Great.
So someone actually said something. She wasn't asking a question, but she said, where was it? Oh, hi, Michael. Not a question, but thank you for being you and being there. I don't know if you realize this, but you've literally helped me get through the days, the last couple of days. And yeah, basically, this is a thank you. Take care and stay safe. It's from Alexia CM Key on Twitter.
Alexia CM Key. That's awesome. Should I respond to that right now or what?
Yeah, you can respond to her.
Alexia, hey, wow. I'll say something to her real quick. Alexia, what's up? Thank you so much for your comment. I'm so thrilled that I've had some kind of positive influence on you. Like, that's amazing. I hope you continue to do well during your quarantine. Great.
There was actually a question about your quarantine. I need to, here it is. I think that it was like, what did you learn during quarantine?
Yeah. What did I learn? Okay, so what did I learn during the quarantine? So I'm still learning so much. What I learned, I've actually really enjoyed the slowing pace of life, because I was just like going so many places and doing so many things, and it's super important to like slow down sometimes, and it calms the stress in the mind and the body. And so yeah, I think that's one thing I learned, is just to live, it's called like living with margin, where you don't have so many things stacked up next to each other, but you've got some space in between everything you're committed to doing. So I'm still learning in the quarantine. I'm learning that I need to learn way more recipes for meals I cook at home. So I have like one thing I'm really good at, and everything else I'm like, okay, I can eat this, but I don't necessarily enjoy this. So I definitely need to learn some new recipes.
Someone asked, what do you think is the most important thing in your life?
Most important thing in my life?
In life in general.
Yeah, the most important thing in life is to be aware of love. And that's like it's like, if you know you're loved, you feel very reassured. And then you carry like faith with you, which gives you the courage to do anything you want to do and to face any challenge and win. And so I'm just super into like acting from love, because it impacts people, and feeling love from other people because it reassures me and it gives me courage. So that's a super important thing. That's more of like an inner thing. So also maintaining healthy relationships is super important, and getting rid of toxic relationships. Having boundaries is super important, especially with people you love, and especially with friends and family. So yeah, so I think that's super important. Have quality relationships, Maria and Aurelia. Do you guys have quality relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important to get rid of any toxic relationship that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like you know, when you've been friend for so long with someone, and sometimes you realize like this relationship doesn't give you as much as it used to, you know.
Yes.
And you should like learn how, you know, it's okay to let it go, even if it's like a long, you know, long time relationship, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not easy to let those relationships go, because we can rationalize why we should keep it or keep that person around. But like you said, I've been in relationships where like the other person was definitely taking way more than they were giving. And it wasn't balanced, and that's not healthy. Though we have grace on people and like grow with them, sometimes you can definitely acknowledge, man, this isn't safe, this isn't healthy. I gotta go. So or we just gotta change things around. So I totally understand what you're talking about.
So you have another question that is, what made you want to become an actor?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that question. So what made me want to become an actor was I remember at first it kind of changed. Like my why started as something and then it changed into something else. So why I wanted to do it at first is because I grew up in a really, I went to a really small private school, and I felt like I didn't have a lot of social opportunities. And I had some friends that were actors, and they looked like they were having so much fun. And I was like, man, I really want to enhance my social life and have a lot more fun. And so I was like, I'm going to be a film actor. And then I'll have like a lot of fun. I'll meet a lot of cool people. So at first, it was primarily about like my social life and enhancing that. And then it changed. My why changed when I saw the possibility of what a career as an actor can bring. You can build wealth, you can have influence, and you can just have a lot of fun learning new skills, taking on new characters. And that's kind of scary but fun. And all of those things really like moved me to want to choose that as a career path. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Wait.
So we have another question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, whoa. Man, you know what? There's not one singular bit of advice that has been the best, because wisdom is something that's continually renewing in our lives, or at least new bits of wisdom through advice come to us at different points in our life. And so just last week, like, here's a really excellent bit of advice that my close friend gave to me. And it was the most recent piece of advice that really made me feel a lot better, is to accept your parents the way they are. Because as parents grow, they are less willing to take risks to do new things for the most part. Because at that age, you want to sort of like protect yourself and not take so many risks. But when you're young, you see all the things your parents do that you would probably change and not do it the same. And you're like, why don't you get this? I get this. And it's like, why do you act this way? But then you're like, so you as the young person see it super clearly. But if you just understand that they're at a completely different stage in their life, usually if you just accept them for who they are, they'll like start sometimes doing the things you wish they would do that were beneficial for them or for everyone. And so accepting your parents and your loved ones for just who they are without trying to force your way on them. So when my friend told me that, I was like, oh, okay. And so there's way less tension now, because I think everyone knows there can be, the more love you have in a relationship, the more possibility there is for tension in the relationship, just because you share so much intimacy. So anyways, accept your loved ones and accept your parents for who they are, even if your loved ones kind of like would do things differently than you would.
It's a good one.
There is another question that is a lot less deep. If you could be a Disney princess, who would you choose and why?
Who would I choose and why? Wow. Okay, the first two that come to mind are Jasmine and Ariel. So let's see. If I had to pick one of them, I'd say Ariel. If I had to be one, because just I love the ocean. I love the water. That's why.
So another question we have, it's about Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
And it's about what's your best memory on the set of Teen Wolf?
Wow, that's a great question. I have a lot of memories from the set, but the one that stands out the most is it was season 2, the episode where young Peter is, we don't know it's young Peter yet still, but he's in Lydia's backyard, and it's the flower scene, that little purple flower. And so in that scene, Holland and I, we did a couple takes, and it was just sort of very bland. It was workable, it was fine, but it wasn't like a really awesome, we nailed this kind of scene, and the directors knew that. And so Jeff Davis came up and gave me a piece of advice or direction as the director. And then, oh, I'm sorry, no, it was Russell, the director for that episode. He came up and gave me a bit of direction. And then Christian Taylor came up and gave me a bit of direction that was opposite of what Russell just told me to do. So Russell's saying, do this. Christian is saying, do this, but they're opposites. And then I'm like, wait, you just told me this, you just told me this. And then they're like, action. And I'm like, okay. I settled myself. And I was relatively a new actor at that point, and I didn't know that I could just say, hey guys, stop for a second. Let's clarify this. So I was like caught in the middle of this situation. I didn't know what to do. I'm on the set of Teen Wolf. I don't want to look like an idiot. And so I'm like, I just made a decision in my mind and in my heart. I'm going to just play this scene like it was me in real life, because that's what this is all about anyways. And so I stepped into the scene, and we did the scene, Holland and I, and it was just amazing. Like, it was electrifying. You could feel that there was a change. Like, I was feeling it actually. And so I added some different like physical behaviors that weren't there before, and it just enhanced the scene, and her reactions to me. It made it way more authentic and way more fun, and it just felt great. And then afterwards, Dylan and Tyler were back in Video Village, Posey that is, and Dylan O'Brien, and they were watching that because they had a scene to film next, and they were like, hey man, that was good, Michael. And I was like, awesome, thanks guys. And so to get complimented by those guys was incredible at that time. And so I love that memory, special memory. Just when you go at it just naturally, it just turns out beautifully.
There's also a person that that is asking. So apparently you talked about a short movie at a convention in south of France. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember, and they're asking where we can watch it.
So it's called The Parallax, and that is in the late stages of being edited. So when that actually is complete, I'll post about it and I'll let everyone know.
Okay.
And someone is asking, I lost it. It was about oh yeah, it was that you post a lot of quotes, and you quote a lot of things, but what's your favorite quote of all time and why?
Favorite quote of all time? Oh man, you know, it's hard to choose favorites when you like so many things. Let's see, my favorite quote. I think one of my favorite quotes recently has been from a monologue I did that was from Lord of the Rings. And I was watching that movie the other day, and it was something Sam said. And it's like, he was with Frodo, and he said, people in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something. And what they were holding on to was worth fighting for. And I think it's super relevant for like the pandemic season and everything. Like, it moves me on the inside to hold on to. Sorry, hold on. We're getting like an audio loop. Okay, are you there?
Yeah.
Great. So I was getting an audio loop. I don't know if you guys heard that. So
Yeah, I heard that.
okay, so essentially, just like hold on to that. There's some good coming after this pandemic. So, and I really believe it is.
I think that Aurelia is no longer here.
Okay.
She okay. Yeah. So, oh, there's a good question here. Which events made the biggest impact on who you are today?
Like life event?
I think so, yeah.
Not like convention event or something.
Life event.
Which event in my life has made the most impact on me? So many circumstances create who we are in life. But I would say one of the most recent events in my life that has really allowed me to become more of who I want to be is I was in this relationship a couple of years ago, and it was a serious relationship, and we're not together anymore, but I learned so much being in that relationship about like how important open communication is in a relationship, and like being your word. Like if you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you say you're going to be somewhere, be there at the time you said you'd be there, and essentially fulfilling on your word and your commitments. And I think if you go through any sort of relational difficulty and relational, like a beautiful relationship, it teaches you so much. And so that last relationship of mine just taught me so much about love and kindness and like how to have a successful relationship. And oh yeah, this is great. So that also taught me so many people love to be right versus being loved. And I think everyone knows someone who just always has to be right about their opinion rather than letting someone else have their opinion. You have yours, and there's still love in the environment for each other, like a mutual respect, that is. And so that event, we could call it an event, was like a relationship that spanned a couple years. It was a blessing in my life, and I learned so much from that event, that relationship.
Yeah. I think that sometimes like we just should say things and it would be like a lot easier, and we just like expect people to understand things instead of doing it. And yeah.
You got it, Maria. That's so true. Like I just had a moment like that the other day where I was like assuming someone would get what I'm like trying to say, but sometimes you have to understand how they're hearing it. They may not hear it the way you think they are. And sometimes it pays to just check in with them. Hey, do you understand what I'm saying? Can I clarify more? Or, and also understanding, I think something else in relationships too, that's super profound is just doing your best to understand what they're actually saying. Like sometimes it's hard to know what a girl is actually wanting or saying sometimes, but if you can perceive what that is, there's usually something behind what may being said. And as you learn someone over time, you get to know what that really is. It's not that hard after a while. So Maria, did you have a relationship like that where you were like, they're not getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that just like sometimes, like in the past, I got like resentful about things that like were here. And I think that if we just communicate about it, like it would like fix problems like before they even happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You got it. Wow.
Someone asked, what's your favorite book, movie of all time, and why did it speak to you so much?
My favorite movie of all time?
Book of movie, okay. Movie of all
book
time.
Or movie. Book or movie of all time. My favorite book. So my favorite book that I always suggest this book to people who ask for suggestions. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big. It's a personal development book. I've been super into like self-help and personal development because I like psychology. And so it's called The Magic of Thinking Big. And essentially it's like a really motivational book, and it gives you ways to enhance your life that you can act on like today. My favorite movie, I know I already brought it up, but Lord of the Rings, it's always been like super inspirational to me. I also really love the original Star Wars trilogy. I love action adventure, and that's like my goal as an actor, is to be a lead actor in an action adventure film, or like a sci-fi adventure film, or even like Marvel, something like that. That's like kind of sci-fi, fantasy, action, adventure. So I like those trilogies. I like epic films. I also like Braveheart. What man doesn't like that movie? So yeah, I like movies that have some sense of like a message that's being communicated, and like virtuous qualities in like the male character, where it's like, what guy doesn't want to be like cool and strong and like awesome? So I like those movies.
Then we have a question about Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Was Peter your first choice, or did you audition for someone else?
No, okay, Peter, I didn't know it was Peter at first. They called him Junior because he was sort of like a hidden character, just like a junior in high school. Um, and so I didn't audition for anyone else. Teen Wolf was still like a smaller show when I auditioned for it for season 2, and they were filming in Atlanta, Georgia. And so they weren't casting young Peter out of LA. They were casting young Peter from like the surrounding region, like Atlanta, Dallas, the Southeast region, which is where I was. And yeah, so no, Peter was the one character I auditioned for, and I was cool with that. Like, I did not expect it to turn out like that. I didn't expect to get it, actually. I sent in my tape and just totally forgot about it. And then it worked. It worked out.
If you could have played any creature of your choice, would you have still choose the werewolf?
Ooh. Yes. Actually, yes, the werewolf. I would choose the werewolf still. How about you, Aurelia? What would you choose?
That's a good question. I'm maybe like a vampire. Like when I was a kid, I always like, like try to do a vampire. Like I watched Buffy when I was little.
Yeah.
So that was like my favorite show. Like when I was like 2 or 3, and so I would like do vampire. That's a great one.
Sweet.
So another question that we have is, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
What accomplishment am I most proud of? Whoa. That's funny because in my journal, and I'm looking at it right there, it's I wrote last night just some things I want in my life, and I was like, I want to accomplish more. I want to feel more accomplished. And so it's funny because I'm like, I'm craving new accomplishments. But I think my biggest accomplishment is probably being on Teen Wolf, and also being offered a lead in a spinoff that they were creating back in season 3 that MTV didn't greenlight. They didn't decide to move forward with it, but we filmed the pilot for it and everything. And so I think that's probably the most recognizable like accomplishment in my life, is being on Teen Wolf for 3 seasons and filming the pilot for that spinoff.
If you weren't an actor, what job would you have wanted to do and why?
If I wasn't an actor, wow. So I've always liked so many different things. It's possible I would have been a doctor. But I also think somewhere down the line, I really like speaking and possibly teaching, not like in a school setting, but sort of like kind of like a Tony Robbins kind of thing, like motivational speaking / teaching. And I think I'll still do that at some point in time. So, yeah.
So next question is, how do you distress yourself after a long day?
Oh God, I love it. Man, I need to do that right now. I usually go for a walk. I love the outdoors. I love nature, and I love the sunshine. So I usually go for like a 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk. And then I'll just I'll pray or meditate. That always helps to get like my feelings and my thoughts out of myself and just out there. So I'm not holding on to anything. And just like what really helps is calling a friend and like talking about why you're stressed out, or just calling and getting out of your head. And I'll call like a friend of mine and just we'll chat, even if it's not about what I was feeling in that moment. We're just to connect with my friend is it always like this one friend of mine always makes me laugh. His name's Izzy. And so if I ever need a laugh, I'll call him sometimes and he'll just say hello and I'll say hello. And sometimes we'll just literally just start laughing because we just have this thing. It's cool. And so, yeah, I would suggest going for walks, maybe having some tea, essentially just do something that calms your movement, calms your body, which is weird though, because walking is moving, but I tend to relax when I'm just kind of walking. So that's my thing. Maria, what do you do to de-stress?
I also talk to friends. Yeah, like also friends that make me laugh, because like basically when I'm feel bad about something, I just want to like either talk about it, like if I feel like I need to talk about it, so I'll just do that, or like talk about something completely different and just laugh about it off.
Yes.
Or I'll like just have like some me time and be alone.
Yeah.
I also like to do that sometimes. So
it's good. Can I ask you, what do you like to do when you're alone? Like in your me time, do you do anything in particular, like just lay there or read or something? What do you do?
I do a lot of thinking.
Yes.
Like I just yeah, kind of meditate, like think about like the situation and see like how I'm feeling about it and what I'll do about it.
Yeah.
And then like just not think about it, like just, I don't know, watch a TV show or do something else.
It's good. That's actually a good thing that you think about it and then you do something else. What I do is I think about something, then I keep thinking about it, and then I'll revisit it later and think more about it. So I've always like historically been an overthinker, and I'm trying to like massage that out of my system to where I don't overthink things.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 qualities that normally draw you to someone new?
Top 3 qualities that draw me to someone new. Someone that's generally having fun in life is always an attractive kind of person. A happy person is usually someone a lot of people like to be around. So naturally that's kind of draws me into, if you're like a joyous person. What draws me into is someone I have common things with. So like someone who likes to listen to music, or a musician, or someone who has other common things, like likes to read books. So just like finding common things draws me to someone new. And sometimes you can't expect or force that. So, but I feel like I connect really easily with a lot of people. So there's no like list. If you want to connect with Michael, you have to have ABC or nothing is going to work. It's like, no, you can be who you are and we'll still have a really great conversation.
So there was also a question about what you were talking about earlier, when you were saying that there are a lot of things that you want to achieve.
Yes.
So the question is, what would you like to achieve in the near future?
The near future, I want to have my next like breakout role. I am still like auditioning basically on a weekly basis, and so that's good. But I don't know, sometimes in an acting career you go through cycles, and it's like it takes some time to get your next breakthrough. And so I'm really looking forward, and I think it's going to happen this year. So I'm looking forward to my next kind of like breakthrough role, either in a movie or a TV show. So I'm looking forward to that. And sort of just like what I want to accomplish next is also just a general sense of peace and contentment. Because also, like, as an achiever, it can be easy to get wrapped up in everything you're doing and everything you want and kind of forget that, oh, life is still good just as it is right now. So I don't want to get pulled out of being content, even though I have all these ambitious goals.
If you could relive any day, what day would you relive and why?
Oh my God. The first time I held this girl's hand when I was 13, I would relive that day. Her name was Amanda. Her name is Amanda, and we were seeing Finding Nemo when it first came out, and we had like a crush on each other, and we went with a group of friends to see this movie, and like we hadn't had like a lot of we were flirting a lot, but we hadn't like held hands or kissed or anything yet. So we were in the middle of the movie. I wasn't watching the movie. My mind was just totally focused on her. and so I just remember that moment where like I was just like, I'm gonna have some courage. And so like I just put my hand on her hand, and then it was like one of those interlacing things. And I was like, whoa, that was like one of the most electrifying moments in my life. Just holding that girl's hand. First time I ever held hands with a girl. It was super electrifying. Wow. I would relive that.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So next question, your favorite song to play at the guitar?
Yes. Okay. So there's two of them. So I write a lot of my own music, and that's always fun to play. But like actual songs from other people, I like to play. Actually, there's three of them. So "Slow Dancing in a Burning Room" by John Mayer, and I also like "Memories" by Maroon 5. And there's a Michael Bublé song. What's the title? "Love You Anymore." It's called "Love You Anymore" by Michael Bublé. Those are the three songs that I've learned recently.
If you could be any Marvel character, who would you be?
I would be Iron Man. It's my favorite.
Why?
I like that he's like a tech guy, and he has all these cool tech things, and he's just like a human being. He has like a lot of money and resources, but I like his character. I guess I really like Robert Downey Jr., and I like what he did with the character. And so yeah, like he can fly, he can shoot things, he can basically do anything anyone else can do. And he's Iron Man. So how about you, Aurelia? I want to ask you what
Captain America, because he's the most like selfless person. He doesn't have like 1 ounce of just me, like he's no way he just think about himself. He just like thinks about others. Yes. And I think a lot of people should take a look of of how he is and stuff, and like maybe try to be like more selfless.
I like that. That's a good call. Good choice. Maria, do you have a favorite Marvel character that you would be?
I think I'd be like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel, huh? Okay. Yeah, good choice. Yeah.
So there's a question about conventions. Yeah. It's what's your favorite thing about doing conventions?
Oh man, like everything about conventions is so cool. To choose a favorite, I would probably say my favorite Man, my favorite are the meet and greets where it's just like me in a room of 15 or 20 people because we can actually connect more than just surface level. So I like that. But I love the panels and I love the photographs and the autographs because when you are signing the autographs, you have like a short window of time, but you can kind of connect with the person there. And I don't know, like for me, I just love meeting people. I love meeting people who care about who I am. And it's a privilege and it's really thrilling and exciting. And I like being around the energy. Like the fans amp up the energy and I feed off that. And that's a super fun aspect of it is how excited everybody gets.
Do you have a favorite memory from a convention?
Yeah, so I think my favorite memory, again, like the whole experience is beautiful, but my first one that I ever went to was in Rome, and it was last year. And I have never been to Europe before that moment. And so it was my first time going to Europe. And so I think just being in Europe for the first time in Rome, which is such a historical city, made a huge impression on me. And I got to stay in Rome for about 4 days after the convention and just walk around the city and explore. And I love walking around Rome. It's one of my favorite cities to walk around in. So, yeah, and it's beautiful there. So, yeah, just being there made a big impact on me.
Rome is so beautiful.
Yeah.
So what is one message or advice that you would give to your fans?
Ooh, a message or advice to my fans. Feel everything that's coming up for you, but make sure, if possible, don't remain in any sort of negative emotion. Like if you can, do your absolute best to cultivate and inspire some kind of belief in your dreams, in your visions for life, and in your future. Because I think it's super important to have like a vision for your life and where you want to go and to actually believe you can get there. And so have some care and love for yourself. Don't neglect your own needs. So take it easy on yourself. Don't overthink things. Relax more, rest more, and develop quality friendships, kind of like we said earlier. So yeah, just be encouraged in the pandemic time. Like we're going to get to a new normal, and that's going to be a good thing. Even though like it's been a time of tragedy, there's going to be a lot of beautiful little things coming up from this experience in all of our lives. And I think most of you are going to like what's coming for you in the future. So be happy, be encouraged, and I love you guys.
What would be a good theme song for your life?
A good theme song for my life? Oh man. Everything is Awesome from the Lego movie. Have you seen the Lego movie?
I haven't.
Oh. Okay. I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard the song a lot because I have some younger age cousins and they were really into it. And I just heard that song on repeat for a while. And so Everything is Awesome. That's the first thing that comes to mind. But music it's hard to choose because there's so many songs that describe every different moment in life. That's why artists write good music, is because they're talking about a breakup or an accomplishment or like something they're confused about or something they love. And so many songs describe my life. Also, okay, there's another song I just heard. What is it called though? Man, I don't remember what it's called, but it was super moving. Yeah, oh no, I got it. It's called Bigger Than. It's called Bigger Than. And I don't even remember the artist's name because he's just like some dance pop writer, but it was a great song called Bigger Than. Essentially, he's talking about how he wants to buy houses for his friends and make a big impact on the world and all this. And I'm like, yes, that's my life. That's what I want to do.
What's the weirdest question you've been asked?
The weirdest question I've been asked is this question. What is the weirdest question you've been asked? The weirdest question, you know what? I haven't gotten a lot of weird questions. Like, people approach me with some really serious questions and just funny questions. I don't know. I'm not sure if I can answer that.
If you could gain or improve 3 characteristics, what would those be?
Oh man, if I can improve 3 characteristics about myself, oh God. I would like to be an early riser, like get up early in the morning. I am not excellent at that right now. Are you, Maria?
No.
No. Okay. I'm working on improving that. I would also, what else? To be generally more content and joyful. And I think I have that quality, but I would just like to amp that up because it also gets snuffed out sometimes with anxiety and stress. So just having more joy and contentment. Okay, and the third one, what would I like to improve about myself? Yeah, I'd like to have even more self-confidence, like be able to close the deal. I did this personal assessment by this life coach, and he pointed out all these different factors, and it was like he was reading me like a book, because these assessments are designed to help them understand you. And one thing that I needed to improve on is sort of like my authoritative side, where I just close the deal and I'm really decisive. So I need to work on being like decisive.
So we have another question. If someone was going to make your life into a movie, who would play you?
If someone was gonna, Robert Downey Jr. would play me, and he would do a great job.
And who do you look up to as an actor or director?
Yes, it's an actor. I really like Adam Driver, and again, I like RDJ. I've studied both of these guys in like my acting studios. But I've learned quite a bit from other actors too, even like Jamie Foxx and Tom Hanks. I think there's something I've been able to pick up from each different actor. Everyone has like their different method and something that they're just really excellent at. So, but yeah, those guys.
What does your perfect Sunday afternoon look like?
Perfect Sunday afternoon, playing soccer at the park and having good food all day, having a good cup of coffee or tea and enjoying the sunshine, going for a walk. Maybe also buying a new pair of shoes on the internet. That would be fun.
Who's your favorite character on Teen Wolf?
Favorite character on Teen Wolf? Whoa, my favorite character in Teen Wolf. Peter Hale, Ian Bowen. And I also like Styles, because he's just so creative and he's so funny.
If you weren't famous, what would you be up to right now?
If I wasn't famous, I would be producing music. That's what I would be doing. I'd be producing music. I forgot to mention that earlier about like what else I would be doing. I said I'd be a doctor or a speaker, but I always loved music. And so one of my goals is still to like write and tour. I write music and tour. And so I would definitely be producing music with my friends.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can still do that as a side job.
Say it again. I didn't catch that.
Oh yeah, I said that you can still do that.
Yes, I know.
Be an actor and produce music.
I'm looking forward to accomplishing that. Thanks for encouraging me, Maria.
So another question that we have is, who's the first actor of the show that you talked to?
Who was it? Yeah, it was Gage. Gage Golightly, in Atlanta season 2. After that, it was Holland because we had our scene together in the principal's office or outside of it. But Gage Golightly was filming some scenes there, like just before and just after we filmed our scene, and she was just there, and I hadn't met her yet, and I thought she was cute, and so I went up and said hello, and we took a photo together. And so I met Gage first.
What's your favorite memory with the cast?
My favorite memory with the cast. I'm thinking about when we filmed in season 3 up in the mountains of California. And I had a night shoot, and I had to get there at like 4 in the afternoon, but we didn't shoot until like 2 a.m. And I was in my trailer, and the heating element didn't work, and I got super cold, and it was just super memorable because there was quite a bit of the like a lot of the cast was there, and just being up in the mountains is beautiful. I love it. Also, I have great memories from last year's conventions with the cast because like in Paris, we all got to get together, and we all spent some really quality time in Toulouse last year too. We went out to dinner after the convention at this Indian restaurant. We just all got to get to know each other a little better, and that was really cool.
So another question that we have is, what did Teen Wolf bring to your life?
What Teen Wolf brought to my life is like just belief that I can be an actor. I can do this. I can make this my life, and that I can also have an influence on people in a good way. So it's sort of like awoke in me sort of like a passion for being creative and pursuing something with everything that I've got. And now I get to connect with a lot of people, a lot of fans, and make new friends all across the world. And so that's a privilege to know people in basically every country in the world. So I really appreciate that about Teen Wolf.
What did you play for your audition for Teen Wolf?
What did I play?
Like,
what is it?
Did you had like someone asked like if you played something else in like Teen Wolf, or you played another character or something?
Oh. No, I mean, I didn't play anything else. Essentially for the audition, I was just being myself. Like I didn't think I didn't believe I was going to book it. I was like, this is bigger than me, so there's no way they're going to choose me for this. And so the audition was just like a single page, 3 lines. And I was like, how can you determine if I'm a good actor in 3 lines? And maybe you can, but I was like, there's no way anyone could get this. The scene was so easy. And so I just did my scene with my sister at home, and I just like sent it. And so I didn't really put like a lot of research or effort into it. And sometimes that's when you actually get the role, is when you care less.
So another question that we have is, if you could make one wish, what would you wish for? And for some reason, you can't choose Earth, peace, or anything like that.
Okay, I can't choose Earth, peace, or okay, no all-encompassing good wish. Let's see if I could wish for anything. Whoa, there's just so much to consider with that question. I would wish that everyone would get a sense of love in their hearts, because again, that encourages you and it fills you with life. And I would wish for that everyone is like a better communicator, so that relationships work out better. So I would wish for that. But it's in a sense, that's like a back door to having Earth peace. So make everybody love each other, talk to each other kindly.
You kind of already like answered this question, but it's what inspired you to be an actor?
Yeah, so just wanted a better social life, and I just didn't want to go be anything I saw my friends doing, like working for a bank, or like something. What I'm pointing to here is, like, I had to do something creative. I had to do music. I had to do something acting related. I wanted to be a pro soccer player for a while too, because I was playing a lot of soccer when I was younger. And so for me, it's just like, I want to do creative things to make money for my life, for a living. And I didn't really want to I didn't want to be an engineer or anything else, though all that stuff is super cool to me. I had this interesting problem where, or predicament, where I was like pretty good at anything, like sport. I played like every sport in high school, and I made A's in every class. And so it is actually really confusing, because it's like, God, what am I good at? Like, I can accomplish a lot of stuff, but like, there's not one particular thing that's just obvious that's my thing. It's like, I can play any sport, I can be relatively accomplished at any area of study, but and so that actually kind of confused me when I was in high school. But then, I don't know, just acting kind of opened up as this beautiful possibility for life, and it fulfilled on all my creative hopes, I suppose. Are you guys like, I'm sorry, Aurelia, Maria,
go ahead.
Are you guys more on the creative side, or are you more like analytical? Like, you want to, like, what's your dream for life? Maria, go first.
I'm actually doing both.
Yeah.
My problem is that I can't choose. Yeah, basically, like, the creative part is what we're doing with conventions, and like the conventions that we want to do in the future. And I'm also working in advertising as a strategist. So that's like very strategy and stuff.
Nice. Aurelia.
I'm more creative. I'm actually studying to be a filmmaker.
Nice.
So
yeah, that's cool.
So I like everything I like want to do is like creative. Like, I wanted to be a lot of things when I grew up, but like making film was like the one thing where you can learn about everything, about every subject, and so that was like interesting, and like it can inspire people. And so
what inspired you all to create your convention company, or like to just be a part of what we're doing today? Like, why are you doing it?
So like we met like 7 years ago almost, like through a convention, and we saw like the same thing, like it was always the same thing happening, and we wanted to do like things differently. Like our like goal when we first made like our first convention, we wanted to inspire people and ask like better question, and like go like deeper into the conversation, with like people like on the so that was like a big thing for us. It was I would say
cool.
that. Maria, do you want to say anything?
For the first convention that we organized, was that basically like Aurelia had like attended more conventions than I had. I think I only attended one. But basically, there were a lot of questions on the characters and everything. But we realized that for some actors, like they use their like platform to talk about like important issues.
Yeah.
So we asked like everyone that we've invited to choose like one charity to promote, so that like they could talk about something that inspires them, or like to like do something bigger through that. Because I think that what's like really powerful with conventions is that like you have like huge communities, and with that thing like empower people to do a lot of things. And we thought that it was like really interesting to like ask everyone to come and talk about something that inspired them, or like about like a charity that they support and why they support it. And we thought that it would be cool to empower like everyone who attends, basically.
Wow, that's a really awesome idea. I've never heard of such a thing where you ask the actors to promote a charity and that it influences everyone that's attending. That's a really great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did another convention where they also like promote charities, and at the end we gave like the charity checks and stuff, like, and it was like a really like important thing. It was just like, I don't know, it was something new for like convention. It was just like talking about things that matters, and like people felt included, because like a lot of people, they have issues and they go to convention to forget about the issues, and
Yes.
and like they I don't know, it was just a very like inspiring thing, and like to hear people's stories through all of that, like through the charities and all of that, was like really like inspiring. So.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's something I've noticed about the conventions is people, the fans go to these conventions to kind of get away from the troubles of whatever they're facing in life and gain some kind of like hope and inspiration. And it seems like they get that when they go to the conventions. I think that's really cool. What an opportunity for all of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Nice.
I'm asking if we can watch the Spinoff Pilot that you shot, that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. So the Spinoff Pilot is actually episode 306, I think. It's they decided to include it as an episode of actual Teen Wolf, and then let MTV and their executives look at it as the functioning pilot for the spinoff. And so I believe it's 306. It's whatever. It's the one where I'm eating Reese's, where young Peter's eating Reese's and visits young Derek at school. I'm pretty sure it's episode 306. I could be wrong on that.
And also someone saying hi from the Coucou Squad.
Yeah, Coucou Squad. Bonjour. Ça va?
Do you know anything in French?
Yeah, I used to study French, and I have this group on Instagram that is giving me French lessons. We've only done one. I need to schedule my next one. But they taught me some vocabulary words that I've forgotten. I need to. The thing with learning languages is you have to be consistent with it if you're going to remember it. So, but I know some basic French, but I am not confident in my abilities right now.
Someone asked who from Disney, who villain would you want to be? Which villain?
Disney villain. Oh, gosh. What a good question. Shoot. Man, because I never think of that. I'm always like, which Disney hero would I want to be? I want to be like Aladdin. Can you give me like 3 choices so I can pick? Because I don't remember a lot of the villains.
Scar,
Okay.
Ursula.
Oh.
Who else is a great one? Well, you have Jafar, I guess.
Probably Scar. That would be cool. Or wait, no. So technically, Star Wars is Disney, and so I would probably be some like dark side Jedi. That's what I would be. That's what I would be. I would be Kylo Ren or some kind of evil like Jedi.
I mean, Kylo Ren is not that evil. So that's debating.
We found out. We found out that there's good in him. Yes.
So yeah, another question that we have is if there was a new season of Teen Wolf, would you want to be part of it?
Oh God, yeah. Yes, that would be super cool.
What's your dream job in film?
My dream job in film is to be like a lead character in an epic film, even like a period piece movie, something like Game of Thrones, or even if it's like fantasy period piece, but just sort of a really serious, significant character in an epic sort of series or epic film.
So another question that we have is, what's on top of your bucket list?
Top of my bucket list, to buy a really cool sports car.
To buy a car, you said?
Yeah, to buy a really cool sports car. I love cool cars. And I want to go to Israel. I want to travel to Israel, to like the Middle East.
Nice.
If you do, you should go to Jordan as well. Oops, sorry.
Go ahead, someone.
Yeah, I was just saying that if you do go to Israel, you should also go to Jordan as well.
Jordan. It is. Jordan is north of Israel?
It's south.
South of Israel.
Yeah.
Got it. I knew it borders it, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would love to go there.
Yeah, with the Red Sea. Mm-hmm.
The Red Sea. That's right. Yeah, I would love to go there.
Have you met any fans that left an impact on you?
Yes. I think at the convention, I met some fans who were really kind and really impactful. I think I have fans DM me on Instagram. A number of them have said some really uplifting and encouraging things to me over the years. And so it's not just like one or two, it's like 100. There's like a lot of people who send in some really cool, encouraging, uplifting messages to me, and I appreciate those.
So there's a question, I don't know if we had it before. If you could tell your former self one thing right now, what would it be?
Yeah, if I could tell my former self one thing right now. It would be, if you don't understand why things happen the way they're happening, trust that everything is going to work out for the good, because it will. Also, practical advice. Also, I would say no, like, you're doing really great. You don't need to feel like you're doing anything wrong, or that you're missing it, or that you're missing out. Keep being you. So I was watching this video on YouTube, and Tom Hanks had the same question. Someone asked him, what would you tell your younger self? And he said, I would tell my younger self, this too shall pass. And like difficult times, this too shall pass. Even the good times, this too shall pass. But essentially it's encouraging, just like if you're going through something really challenging, just have some patience, just wait it out. It's going to change. So you won't stay where you are forever. Things in life move and change, and that's a good thing. So that's what I would say.
Which event, con-wise, made the biggest impact on who you are today?
You know what? There's not one particular con that's made like more impact over another. I think it's just the whole experience. They keep building off of each other. They all have an impact because I get to meet different people every time. So it's sort of just like one collective con experience to me, rather than just like single events, because they essentially all have the same format: autographs, panels, like meet and greets. So essentially they're all functionally the same, but you just get to meet different people at different places. And yeah, like as a whole, it's all been really impactful and really fun. I've gotten to travel in ways I wouldn't have if it wasn't for the conventions.
So another question that we have is, who's your favorite mean guy from Teen Wolf?
Favorite mean guy from Teen Wolf? That's a good question. My favorite mean guy. I don't know. I feel like I want to ask you all that. Like, Aurelia, who's your favorite mean guy on Teen Wolf?
I forgot who was mean. Oh, maybe like the mean Styles in like season 3.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, actually. I like that suggestion. I like the mean Styles in season 3. Maria?
Mm-hmm.
I actually haven't finished Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
Don't really remember it.
No worries.
But yeah.
Next question.
So next question, yeah.
If you had to become famous with the weirdest talent you have, what would it be?
If I had to be famous with a weird talent, a weird talent? Man, that I would say, man, I don't a weird talent. I don't know, like I would otherwise want to be famous for being like a really great architect or designer, or like a really awesome cook, or like a really great snowboarder.
And we also have a question about TV shows. So are you a Netflix or a series addict? And if so, what are your 3 favorite TV shows?
So no, I'm not a Netflix or series addict, actually. I haven't watched like a lot of shows on streaming platforms because I'm busy trying to be in them. I'm like auditioning and prepping for scenes, and I'm like studying and reading and educating myself all the time. So I actually I don't watch a lot of things. If I do watch things, I watch YouTube, and what I mean is like I'll get on and I'll watch like scare cam videos or like fail videos or win videos, because the win videos inspire me and the fail videos or scare cam videos really make me laugh in a way that I don't laugh otherwise. And so when I do have time to watch something, I usually seek out a way to laugh because I want more of that in my life. And so, but otherwise, there are some things I've seen on Netflix. Like I always suggest Bodyguard. It's one of my favorite series. Have y'all seen that?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
God, it's really great. I want to be in something like that. That's super cool. I like that. So you've seen it. That's good.
I think we we did every question, I think.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna ask you all 3 questions. Can I ask you 3 questions?
go ahead.
Okay, Maria, before the quarantine, what was the last country you visited?
Was it Japan? Wait, I think it was Japan. But I'm actually in Thailand right now.
You're in Thailand right now. All right.
Yeah, I'm not, in Paris. I think it was Japan. Yeah, and I loved it.
Why? What did you love about it? I'd love to go there.
Everything. Food was amazing.
Yeah.
Are awesome. I think that their culture in general is really cool. I also loved how different each city is. I got to visit 3 cities, and so you have like Tokyo, that's like really like crowded and like very busy, and then like I also went to Kyoto, that was like very calm and super relaxing.
Wow.
And we got to do like so many amazing things there. Like there's like a bamboo forest, like you just walk and there are like just huge bamboos, and it was like extremely relaxing. So yeah, Tokyo, I loved it. Like for the
It sounds
food.
amazing. A bamboo forest. I feel like I would want to walk around in a bamboo forest with some green tea
Yeah,
and just think and walk and enjoy the breeze.
yeah,
That sounds
yeah. It
cool.
was really relaxing. Super cool.
Okay. Aurelia,
Yeah.
what was the last thing that you cooked?
Oh, I cooked yesterday. How does it called? Oh, hold on, I forgot the name.
Yeah.
And I know the word, but I forgot the name. Hold on. It's like super basic. It's a vegetable. Oh, eggplant.
Eggplant. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, that was super basic. Yeah, eggplant. I made eggplant yesterday.
Nice.
That was like the only thing.
It was good.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Maria, if you were really good at a skill set that you're right now not really good at, what would you want to be really good at?
So I think that dancing.
Dancing.
Yeah.
What
Like
kind?
I was doing a lot of ballet when I was younger.
Yeah.
And now like I'd really love to be good at like hip hop or like
Yes.
dancing. I think like I always like see videos, and I'd love to be good as like I watch.
That's cool. I want to dance too. I'm with you on that. It's cool that you like dancing.
Like learn a new language.
Yes,
like,
a new language.
I always love to learn a new language.
Yeah, good choices, Maria. Aurelia, if you could go to 2 concerts, like what bands or artists would you want to go see in concert?
Okay. There's one. It's a band from Spain. They're called Divicio. It's like they're like my favorite band. And another one. I already went to one of his concert, but he's so amazing that like I would go like 100 times. It's Dermot Kennedy. I don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
He's really good. Do you know?
Cool.
Like, yeah, he's really good.
I don't know about him. I'll have to look him up. That's pretty cool. Maria, look, if you could change, I know your life happened the way it happened, but if you could change one moment in your life to something different, what moment in your life would you change?
Honestly, I think that I wouldn't change anything, because I think
Cool.
that like all the bad things haven't like taught me something. Yeah, I think that I wouldn't like. I'm happy with my life today and what I made of it. So I think that like every
Good.
step, like even if it was a bad one, was necessary to get there. So
Yes.
so I think that I wouldn't change anything.
I like that. Okay. Aurelia, if you could go on a date with anyone right now, who would it be? And where would you go?
That's a good question. Huh. I have no idea who I would go on a
Okay.
date with.
I'll give you some selections. Can I give you some
Okay, yeah.
options?
Yes.
Okay.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
let me think. Okay, I got it. Okay. Tom Holland, Shawn Mendes, or Dylan O'Brien.
I would go with Dylan, and I would go car racing.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet, car racing. Cool. I want to go car racing.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, one last question for Maria. If you had like $1 million, what would be the first thing you would do?
So I think that I'd share with my parents and my loved ones. I think I'd travel.
Yeah,
Yeah, the thing that I do is travel.
travel. I like that. Nice.
Or in New York. I don't know.
Yeah. Sweet. Cool. Well, I just wanted to get to know you guys a little better. So thanks for answering my quick fire
Sure.
question.
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I would primarily invest it. I would put some into a mutual fund that is like probably more aggressive. I would put some into like a real estate investment, like rental properties, so that I have passive income going back into an account. And then for the fun stuff, I'd get a new car, and I would go travel. I would definitely travel, and I would commit a certain amount of that to give back, in whatever way I feel inspired to give back. But I would also like to surprise my loved ones with some really nice gifts, some really cool gifts. That's what I would do.
What's your favorite travel country you've been in?
My favorite place every place on this earth has something unique you can appreciate about it. So I'll give you my top 3. How about that? I love Colorado. I love being in the mountains. I love snowboarding. I like camping, being adventurous, rock climbing. So Colorado in America is just like the coolest place for that. I like LA, San Diego. The West Coast is generally beautiful and the people are cool. I like Miami also. I like being by the water, like coastal cities. There are so many places I haven't been. Like I want to go to like Monaco and the UK. I want to go to London. I haven't been there yet. There are just too many places I need to go. I really enjoyed Rome because the roads, they're just like ancient and they're just windy, and I love kind of getting lost, but it's also kind of scary. But I just love kind of getting lost on a walk in Rome. When I went to Paris last year, I didn't really get to explore Paris, and so I need to explore Paris more. It's so beautiful there.
Well, that would be cool if you could do that like next time that you come for the convention. Like if you can to visit Paris.
Yeah. Agreed.
What's your favorite thing about Paris? Like, yeah.
My favorite thing about Paris, probably like Parisian people. Just the
Really?
people. Yes.
That's so funny
Oh,
because like
not,
everyone
yeah.
hates Parisians.
What?
Yeah, a lot of Americans say we're rude.
Oh, maybe, but I don't know. I think the people I've encountered are pretty cool. But yeah, the people. That's what makes the culture. And again, I haven't explored Paris at all, so I can't comment on the architecture or the museums or anything like that. So,
Well, it's also really beautiful.
I'm sure it is. I believe that. Maria.
Yeah.
How's the Thai food?
So good. It's
Good.
really, yeah. What I love about it is that it's like extremely simple, but it's super good. I really love it.
Yeah.
Like they cook, I don't know, like vegetables with rice and like a sauce, and it's just like super simple, but it would be like so good.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of fruits here, which I love. So yeah, I really enjoy Thai food.
Nice. That's cool. I want to go to Southeast Asia. I've never been.
Yeah.
Is Thailand Southeast Asia technically?
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I want to
We
go
should go to
to where?
Vietnam.
Vietnam. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll have to check that out. I know that I want to go to like French Polynesia, like the Polynesian Islands.
Yeah.
I'd like to go there.
Yeah, I've never been, but it looks really beautiful.
Yeah. Aurelia, are you in Paris right now? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Paris. I actually live in LA, but because of the whole quarantine thing, I decided to come home like a month ago. So yes, I'm in Paris. Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. How long have you lived in Los Angeles for?
About a year and a half. I've been living in America for like, it's gonna be 4 year for in July, but in LA
Yeah.
it's gonna be a year and a half.
And where did you live before LA?
Santa Rosa, in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
It's a small city.
Okay. That's cool. I want to go to the Bay Area. I haven't been there.
It's really nice. It's really like different. Like you have like Auckland and San Francisco, which is like nice.
Yes.
But yeah, and you have like small cities, and people are really nice there.
Yeah. So cool. Do you like LA? Because everyone has like a different opinion about it.
Well, I always dreamed about like living in LA, but like since like I've been living in LA, it's been different. Like I've seen like the good side and the bad side.
Yep.
And it's big. Like it's like, I mean, there's good things, but like I wish like it was like more like a historical city, and like some like people are like they don't really care about who you are. Like it just it's kind of sad to say, but a lot of fake people there.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful who you talk to, and you know who you're trying to be friend with. But yeah, a lot of people, but I mean what I like is like a lot of people are like creative, and they like, so I like that. It's like you have the feeling that you can do anything you want there, so that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I feel that. When I go to LA, I lived there for like 4 years, and I've been planning on moving back. But yeah, anytime I go there, I love the weather. And I actually I know what you mean about the different kinds of people that are there, like the fake people, but I also found some really genuine people there that I became friends with. And so there are definitely some real good people out there too. And it's just like a big mix. I think there's a lot to do out there. And that's something I like about Los Angeles. And anytime I go there, kind of like you said, you feel like you can do anything. I definitely feel inspired and very creative anytime I go. And maybe it's just the energy of the city. Everyone there is there from somewhere else trying to be somebody or do something. And so I think I like that about LA.
Yeah, like yeah, it's super like simple, but I love to go on Hollywood Boulevard, and you have the, you know, kind of like the mall, the outside mall, where you have the Chinese theater and stuff, and you have like on the ground you have quotes of people who like made it, and like you have their stories, and it's like super inspiring, and it's like, oh, like wow, like you actually want to do something when you're in LA. Like you want to be proactive, like, okay, like I'm here, I have this opportunity, let's do something.
I like that. You're right. It's like you want to be proactive, and I think that atmosphere lends itself to wanting to be proactive. I feel that. I know what you mean. That's inspiring. Just hearing that makes me want to go out and like be proactive.
Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Dallas.
What city? Oh, okay.
Dallas, Texas. That's where I'm from.
Never been, but it's one of those places like I want to go. Like we were talking with Maria, like we want to go to Nashville and Texas, and you know.
Yes,
places.
You'll like it. Yeah, those are cool places. It's nice. So I have another call. I have a mentor, and we talk on Thursdays. So I have another call in like 10 minutes. So did you all want to conclude with anything or talk about anything before we move along?
No, I think like we can just do like a like say something to people, and then we can end it.
Okay. So say something to people. Let's see. What do I want to say to people? Hey, everybody watching. No, take two. Let's try this again. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you've tuned in to watch this live with Aurelia, Maria, and myself. I hope you are feeling good, even though like we're going through this worldwide pandemic and most of us have never been through anything like this in our lifetimes. Know that good is coming to you. I believe it. I'm not just saying that. It really is. And I hope you believe it, because when you believe it, it actually is gonna happen. So have a great day when you see this, when you watch this. Make sure to take care of yourself. Go easy on yourself. Don't treat yourself harshly. Yeah, much love. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Well, thank you so